Welcome mates, I'm BloodThirstyLord, welcome Lordy, and so back on Meet Your Maker. And in a very interesting state, in the newest update. How? You can see right here, I have access to this exclusive character. Yes, I have exclusive access thanks to Behaviour Interactive, the makers of Meet Your Maker, and they helped us out by giving us early access to highlight this update on the channel for you mates to enjoy as well. So we only have a certain amount of things that we can actually do in this test build, and from that, we'll be testing out all the new mechanics that are available towards us. From the new character itself, and its loadout, and its new weapon, which we'll discuss. And then also some other functions, which will be the guardsman, and how they work. The new Ravager. And also the trapping mechanic. I feel like right now would be a good point to start, and just highlight it in its entirety. Because it's kind of crazy how much they brought to the changes into this update. There's obviously a balance update they can check on their website, which will launch at the same time, when they do change some of the mechanics when it comes down to the core gameplay and the quality of life, helping out with pretty much gaining more currency in-game by actually completing missions instead of trying to break tombs continuously. Because obviously sacred tombs can be a bit of a gimmick where people use them, people close them off, and you can't have access to it, then you lose your loot. And there were some other things. But it looks like they've fixed quite a bit. And also highlight the new content. They'll be coming out soon. And we'll be highlighting that content today on the stream. I am very excited for this. So let's jump into it. And let's highlight everything. So the first thing we do have is a demolition cannon. The cannon fires reusable explosive shells that deal massive damage. You got blast radius, ammo capacity, and reload time. And it's crushing. It looks like it affects all factors, being flesh, armor, and traps. So we'll test this out, see how good it is. Increase ammo capacity by 1, and the blast radius by 1 meter at full maxed out capabilities. Those are those features there. You can go to the full upgrade to see each upgrade, what it does. There you go. And alongside that, we do have the aspect of the new guardsman. This was a big surprise to have a new guard playable in the game, and that is the Ravager, an aggressive subclone who fires bolts that spread out in a certain wave and actually target enemies. So from here, we can highlight what it has as add-ons. It seems to have every add-on from Adrenal, Reflex, Bloodlust, Optical Implant, Short Leash, Demand Switch, and Plating. The only add-on it doesn't have here, which is only unique to Warmonger, is obviously the Flame Walker. And then we go to the traps mechanics that we have here as well. And the latest trap is the Sentry Beam. Tracks its targets before firing a laser beam that bounces off surfaces, triggers until destroyed. Depending how this works, this could be a nuisance to deal with. The ricochet potential, maybe in corridors, will become even more difficult to deal with against this. It depends how it procs and how it activates the detective range, all that stuff. We'll find out today. And then we have a couple perks that we have unlockable already, being over amplified, the beam deflects off 2 surfaces, or 2 times off surfaces. Then we have pinball, widens the angle that the beam deflects off surfaces, leading to chaotic ricocheting. So essentially, instead of it just always being bouncing a certain path, now the path is a lot larger, so it can bounce off differently, and maybe even split more. We'll have to find out and test it. Because depending how the projectile ricochets, it could actually increase in width overall after each ricochet. So we're going to test this out. I think that'll be kind of interesting. Target lock increases the trap's tracking speed to reduce the chance of a target escaping. Could be really good. And then second wave, which we all know. Collect gem mat. This turns on. The trap is now active. There's a whole bunch of other changes to the boosters and such, but that might be something that you can see in a quality of life update they have on their website. So check that out. So let's try to get into our base section, and let's highlight this. I want to actually have a taste of what this DREADSHORE update has to offer. So let's get over here. Let's go to our new version here. What they look like, the actual burial sites, they have this type of scenery. You can see from here in the images when you're about to pick a burial site. Obviously, the naming might be different, but the burial sites will be there in this new setting. Compared to the red rust sands that we had prior in Season 0 or 1. I think it's going to be classified as Season 0. Then we have in Sector 1 being this. And it's quite interesting to see the drastic change in tone. So let's go to our actual area and let's start testing out the build mechanics. So I want to see how crazy the building mechanics can get in this game. New loading screen too. Love to see it. And there's also a change to Phoenix Pod too. Oh my god. Because I've not seen it in game myself except for all the images leading up to this. What the hell? This looks clean as hell. Okay. Let's get into it. Obviously, we have our base to a certain degree, and it goes to a certain extent. I want to see the scenery more than anything. You can hear it as well. It's got special unique sound effects. Wait, can we just go exploring? Give me a second. I'm going to go exploring. We've got to see everything here. Obviously, it still has that same effect when it scrambles after a set distance. Bit of monuments here and there. Looks like an oil rig of some sort. Like a refinery. Something there in the far distance. Maybe another mine. A lot of rust. And scraps, to say the least. I'm just looking around. I have not actually spent time in the actual game to test it. So this will be my first time. Okay, cool. And we got the gym mat location there. I wonder if the sacred tombs change. Did they change the way they look? Nah, still similar from before. But this is the new deco pack, I believe. We're going to test out that too. So let's just scrap whatever is here currently. Remove it. But I'm loving the new color tone for everything. Oh, we didn't get to check the perks for the class, so we'll do that in a moment. So let's go over here. And let me check my build menu. Do I have them unlocked? Let's see. I don't think we do. Oh, no. I don't think it is. Wait, no. Lights End. There we go. Lights End, Lost City. Those are the two. So we got... Let's try this all out. Let's actually first scrap. And we'll throw each one. We'll use a normal one first. Just place it everywhere to make a bit of a showcase of how this looks like. Experience-wise. Whoa, wrong way. Usually I built to split it more, but it doesn't look like it's doing that. Okay. Let's test this out. Okay, so the first building material we do have, or the new variants in the deco pack, in Light's End, is this one right over here. Blue effects. It's more like just a watered down effect. Kind of nice. Leave that. Can we turn it as well? See the other side. Interesting. The next cube that we do have is this one over here. I thought it was no, it is see-through. Yeah, there's glass paneling. So you can actually see through this. One side is completely blocked, but these ways you can see through. So you can use that as a way to gain vision for the raiders to a certain degree. That's open up too as well. Oh, that's nice. I like it like this. Flipping on this side looks way better. See completely through. For better or worse. Obviously, it's got that rust effect and a bit of a mist to it. Put that to the side as well. Actually, we'll leave that. I have to check everything. I have to check everything. What is this? Okay. It's like a ramped up wall. So you add on to the sides of these, as you see. It's like extra padding. Or reinforcement. Cool. Drainage pipes. Seeing the setting even more. It's just adding more to environments, which are like, oh, this could look really nice. Wait. He looks like Isaac from Dead Space. It's like looking through it. Over in a Bunsen burner. Love it. Oh, sorry, like a heater, sorry. I like this. I actually really like this. That would be cool for settings as well. And it's got a bit of a ramp to it, as you see. Look, it ramps up in the tone. I know, it did it a while. There we go. And there's like a cog in the middle. Which seems to be one of those initial cogs from... Let me see. One of the packs early on. Can't remember which pack, though. I think it was one of the originals, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try the others. Lost City? Actually, it's not Lost City. Wait, wasn't the second pack too? I swear there was a second pack. No. I actually don't know. Maybe there was just one pack. Maybe I'm tripping. There might be a second pack. Maybe just not accessible yet in this actual testing phase, but it's cool enough. Yeah, so those are the new parts that you do unlock. There, you got the lighthouse in the distance. That's pretty clean looking. Did Harvey change too? No, Harvey's still the same, still chilling. Same gimmicks. Now these new traps and the new Ravager, we're gonna test that out too. So Ravage is there. So we have the actual imagery there and see it. It's like infused with this arm. Nice. Missing arm there. Why how the armor protection works in this as well? Does it cover all sectors? We can test everything here too. Armor plating? Up body only. Okay. Cool. There you go. Upper body. It looks like he's a bit slender because of the actual factor of not having an arm here, which could make it hard to actually land a shot here. But that doesn't count as arm, I believe. That helmet. Last demand switch. All similar in those aspects. So nothing too crazy there. I want to test this out. I really want to test this out. I just want to see what it does. Because I know he has like a scatter shotgun to a certain degree. I believe that's what it's supposed to be mimicking. Actually highlighting. Let's test it. And mate, see that like button, show the support. Oh my god. The new gun as well. Wait a minute. Do I even want to test this out right now? I'm loving the vibe of this. Gravel's still the same. Attack me. Oh, whoa, 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 what? It doesn't scatter in a cone like you'll think, like more of a tight cone, and scatter in that formation. It actually does like a horizontal shot. That is freaky. Okay, I can't deflect it. So I have deflecting properties on it. Nice. Oh, I do, actually. My bad. Oh, it's very easy to deflect, though. It's all one instance. It's only one instance. I thought it would be timed. You know what they could add? Possibly get a modifier, like how you have on traps, to be able to shoot multiple shots at different times, like Relentless, on a bolt gun. You can do the exact same thing here as well. Yeah, nice. It's easy to deflect. Very easy. Yeah, I'm getting used to it already. Okay, not hard. The deflect window is very nice. There's still, obviously, points where you can get killed by this. Let's try our weapon. See how good it is. Oh, wait a minute. You actually have to pick them up as well. Same mechanic as pickups. Okay, cool. Even though it's an explosive. Interesting. Damage, let's see. Dead. I believe you can kill in all states too. So depending on how this actually interacts against every mechanic, it could be a good way to wave clear. But I'm loving the new skin on the weapon that matches the vibe and the setting. Let me try this as well. Not that actually. Let's reset. Actually, do I want to reset? Let me think. Let me think. Back to building. We can try to see how this new trap looks like too. Oh wait, it's just a surface. Like that. Okay. I thought it was a whole cube. Interesting. Okay. And then also the other factors there. I'll put two of them. Some over here to just test out. When all of them activate at once, what happens? Well, let's test it again. I'm interested in the capabilities that it can showcase. Especially when you can put it with everything else. Okay. You ricochet 3 times. Detective range? Where's that from? Let's try this. Can you die to these? Or they classify as EMP? No. You still die. It's not too bad though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. Wait. Did that potentially kill you from that range? It definitely can. And it's a one-shot. Kill me twice. It's actually one-shot too. It doesn't move as much. It has like a tracking period. So initial tracking, detection, then orange is tracking, redirection, and then it actually goes for it. So there's 3 stages to it. So it can be easy to move around without any upgrades, as you see. But this will stop people from running away, because you can't really run away if it ricochets an entire corridor. Using this will be kind of hard to actually get. Ooh, okay. Over there. I want to see if I can get it close enough. Be right next to it, will still blow up. Doesn't seem like it. Did I get it? No way, you got it. No, I missed. It's that strong. Okay, it works like that, but you make it bounce off it. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. Its detective range isn't too bad. I'll say you'll mimic the... What is the other one? The other one with the plasma clouds. Probably the name for it right now. I was gonna say Sentry, but I think this is Sentry. Phoenix pods. Look how far you can chuck them too. My god. I believe that can activate twice, if I'm not mistaken. Or you just carry two and then you place one after the other. I think that's what the idea was. That's why I had two of them. Pretty good. Pretty good. This new weapon, even when you actually miss the shots as well, you can see it missing from your actual weapon. I like that. Let's test out something here. What do I want to test? Where's the new one? Where's the new one? Why can't I see it initially? It's one of these. It just looks so similar. There you go. This is the same tonal effect. I just need to see it in action. How it ricochets in a tight corridor. Because... And also how it goes through other objects, maybe? I wonder if it actually detects from other objects. Let's see. Oh, we can do with that. That would be good. Let's test. This is the best part about Meteor Maker. You can just go through constant testing to understand more and more. But the Ravager won't be able to do much. Oh, wow. Oh, the Ravager shot it. Because it was such a high up, and then he shot up, and actually shot the trap. Okay, cool. I didn't expect that. Oh my god, okay. Let's try it again. Nice. I want to try that with armor as well. See how it feels. Still one shot? I feel like it would be. Now, this area. How would you use this? You would have to actually activate it around a corner and then maybe hope for the plate to go backwards. And then have a triangular... Wait, let me try this. Let me try it. I'm testing here. This may be for a future video in the works. Keep that in mind. Let's try this. Let's do... something like that. Oh, so this is all testing? In our theory? Let's try it. With base mods. Nothing else, just base mods. And I wonder if you can actually... You can't parry the beam. There's no way you can parry it. Absolutely no way. Maybe one instance, but after that one instance, you're pretty much dead. I'll still test it out. Hey, Yellow, am I ever going to show my face? Maybe possibly in the future. It's been something that I've been thinking about for quite a while. So it might be possible. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay. That sounds freaky. I try to block it, but that happens so quick. That happens so quick. It aims at your feet, by the way. Oh, that's so weird. I cannot block that. I wanted to try it, but it's impossible. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I missed it. There's nothing. You can't do it. It's possible. So you can't block with that. You have to use Arc Barrier. Now, I'll talk about Arc Barrier in a bit. Oh my god. Wait. Yeah, this may actually count a lot of speedrunning strats. You're playing a very scary game. It's like versing Cyclops from X-Men. Got like 10 of them. Okay, cool. I do want to test it with conjunction with other abilities and see how it can actually go further and further. But right now, I think the only one I would really want to test it on is this. See how it detects through this. If it actually does detect through it. Because I don't have much to test with at the moment. But I do want to test it out to its full extent. You could even do maps. There's possible, like, a spiral. And then the spiral is always... It has different forms, so you use more of the triangular pieces. And then you can make it ricochet through a staircase. Because it does ricochet 3 times. But that might be enough for it to get, like, its little sneaky kill. If you have multiple of them doing it at the same time. It becomes like a prism of death. And welcome to new follow on Twitch. Welcome, welcome. It has a bit of a roll to it. Especially when you land it like that. But it should work pretty well. Let's see how it detects. You know, detection? You know what? I think it breaks line of sight. It breaks line of sight completely. Yep, see? Line of sight is broken. After you pass the cube, it doesn't actually shoot through it. Okay. Try thinking about combos and how you test this further. I think I need more of the build menu to actually test the traps in conjunction. Oh, I do want to see the other variants as well. So let's try over amplify. The beam deflects off 2 surfaces additional times. 2 surfaces. So depending how this beam hits, it can actually deflect more than that. But we have to test it. Let's put that on. Second wave is something that we don't need to test at all. Try the first one. Try that out. Okay, show me. Wait, look where it's lined up. Oh, it gives you an understanding of what it's doing. Oh, no, that was just bugged. Never mind. It's kind of hard thing to test here, actually. Let's test another one. I pressed the wrong button, did I? Yeah, I did. We're going to test it on the other trap down here. Will be a better option for us. Let's put it there. Over amplify. And maybe we can change the form here once again. This could be a good way of testing it. Let's go to test. Oh, whoa. 1, 2, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. It went 4th time. That's what I saw at least. It just goes one additional time? That's making spacing. Oh my god, this is freaky. Maybe this is the best one to test. Oh, that went like 5 times. I can see it. It's 5 times. That is very hard. Oh, my body went there. It's got such crazy reach, and having a couple of them stacked together in a way will get you killed. So it's cool to see that work the way it does. And all it takes is the initial, I believe, to detect you, and then it fully activates no matter what. Even though it can't get the full track on you. If I'm not mistaken. Let me try again. I'm going to change this one to something else. Increase the trap's tracking speed to reduce the chance of target escaping. Let's try that. Also, they seem very low cost to use this trap overall. So I wonder if that's a way to encourage players to use the new gimmicks, the new traps, the new mechanics into their advantage. So base is it can incredibly change your pacing too. Nice, let's see this. Is that faster? I thought much slower. This is wrong. Something's wrong with this. It's like, it's actually more. It's plus. That maybe is quicker, the orange indicator, but the initial part is so slow now. Interesting. I wonder how that works. Let me see. So the beam deflects twice there. Well, this one has increased trap's tracking speed to reduce the chance of target escaping. So the tracking speed is only just the redirection, not the actual activation. I think it is. I think the tracking speed here is based on redirection, not based on timing. The actual time it takes for the trap to activate. Okay. Pinball widens the angle that the beam deflects off. Surfaces leading to... Okay, let's try this. Turn this off. Put that on. Give that a go. I think it actually is. Like, look at it and try to understand it. I think it actually speeds up the redirection of the beam to actually cast. But the timing of the cast is not faster than any capacity. That's what I can see. Such a hard thing to test. I do not know how these will be used at this current time. I can tell you that. Trying to use it, it feels like a standard variant. It could be best. Why is the angle that the beam deflects off surfaces leading to chaotic ricocheting? It doesn't feel chaotic though. It still feels like it's similar to the first one. Just over amplify. Because it just ends up being one beam. I thought maybe it would split apart a bit more to create some type of different trajectory for the beams. So they end up spiraling. Unsure. Try both those there. And let me try this as well with that. Wait, is it the same one? Or they put the track on here? Nice. Okay, let's see. Oh, the tracking speed's insanely fast. So I see it. It's the tracking speed, not the cast time. It redirects like a laser. Like, look how quick it is. But this isn't based on the... Wait, that was the redirecting one, wasn't it? Oh, that's so interesting. Let me destroy this. Okay. So, I actually can't tell. Seems like a weird mechanic. Maybe it's not properly working, I could say. Like, it works, but it feels weird. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm not seeing the connection at the moment. I need just to test it with other pieces, and it's kind of hard to test without having everything there. And I really want to test it. What can we do? Because these traps in conjunction don't really work, but I can see how you can cover up a sentry trap with a potential bolt trap activation. So what you would have to do is someone conceal the sentry in a certain distance, but without actually having increased range. Is kind of an interesting one too, because it only activates on 5 cubes. Well, if I put a bolt, a trap, that activates like 9 or 14 cubes. So it's a hard way to conceal it. One of these ends up becoming like a replacement to... Nah, I think it breaks piston, doesn't it? Let's try. I think it'll break pistons. Can't try it yet. We'll try in a moment. But I do want to highlight the class and what it does exactly. So let's go back to other section. We'll come back into the build in a momentary time. It's like interesting mechanics, and there's obviously a balance pass that's happening, which changes how Arc Barrier works. And Arc Barrier has a certain interval up to 0.5, I believe, later on. This is not indicative of that at the current time. But, oh, it's maybe just perfect block. Oh, it was, maybe. Yeah, your perfect block is 0.5. And maybe the whole activate time becomes 0.5 after the update. So we'll double check into that. But when you have this, and in conjunction with another mechanic, which we'll show.
At least if we
purchase this.
Up, there won't be any history left to blame us.
And then from here, we go to the Custodian section of the outpost.
The induction
we have Nautilus, as to enhance the effect of defensive weaponry. So that's his goal. So we have the range, we have the melee variant, and now we have, or melee and speed, and now we have a defensive category. And with that mechanic, you go to the certain perks, you have counter change, or counter charge. Silence enhances a defensive weapon's effect following a perfect block. This, I believe, is directly affecting Arc Barrier, but it could actually affect Force Shields too. But it says defensive weapon, which makes you think it's just Arc Barrier. Or, yeah, anything with a perfect block animation. You could even use the deflect sword too. Other than that, I don't think anything else has a perfect block in the game. Then you have block lock, increase the time to perform a perfect block by 0.2 seconds. So it actually extends the window so you can actually block even more and make sure you take no instances of damage. Really cool. And then you have Surge Override, which decreases the recharge time of all defensive weapons by 20%. So instead of you standing still until your Arc Barrier is back online, this will actually help out in that aspect and reduce that cooldown so you can use it much more often and actually go speedrunning through some of these bases with Arc Barrier, with this class as well. So it actually promotes more of a defensive playstyle, and the way it looks is nuts, as you can see. I love the customization. And I believe part of that update is to actually have a crazy skin. Let me get to that. Where is the goodie? I remember seeing it 2 seconds ago. Actually, I think it was here. There you go. You have your Iron Sign, but the one that we're going to talk about is Nautilus. And if you customize it, you have the Maelstrom, and it looks like Big Daddy from Bioshock. Crazy stuff. Looks very unique, and I love the way it looks. With that, and a bit of lore is also there too, as you'll see here. Unknown figures, there you go, the Ocean Depths of the Dead. Very nice. And obviously the new weapon, that has its own skin too, which I had the skin applicable already, and placed onto it. Standard, the blaster, is the variant of how it looks. The new unique colors that Meat Maker does have, for all its base weaponry, as you can see. And then from there, we have the Dreadnought, which looks even better. I love the way it looks. So now we have all those there. I could buy the perks as well, maybe. I might not do that. Instead, I'm actually double check these other traps. What would work then? Bomb Ejector could conceal it and also act as a way to bounce off the bombs. So that could be really fun to test out. I can only buy 2 traps. Holocube could... depending where the Holocube is, you can maybe shoot through it as a player's going towards it, but the Holocube will still activate, so it doesn't really work. Instant could cover it up. You know what? Instant could cover it up. Like, really well. Oh, damn it. I want to try. Okay, Death Piston, in my head, it seems like, even if you have the piston available to you, and you have the Sentry active on it, the Sentry beam, I believe the Sentry beam will break the piston. Albeit a purpose of change. But I think doing a combination of Bomb Ejector with also Incinerator and having a Sentry beam go between those could be nuts. Hey, Social, how you going? Glad to see you. Let me try this. Let me get this. And also... Oh, can't get the Bomb Ejector. Sadly, just a bit off. We'll try the piston. Let's go for it. No issue. Go back to our outpost. Test it out more. And with this, what we can try to do is place down the trap here in a build menu. Let's try piston, just for the sake of seeing if it can actually bounce off certain objects. Actually, let's do it this way, because I have to activate and then try to surpass me in some aspect. Let's try it. Yeah, if it destroys other traps, it destroys the piston. I agree. There you go. Oh my god, it destroyed all three of them. Okay, good. Very nice. You are 100% right. Here you go. You can also try to use the EP or the new nades. I say EP because it's got electrical factors to it. This will stop a lot of bases when people build narrow corridors that are just kill box orientated. This will stop it. There's constant grenades, and usually you run out of 3 grenades and you have no more. Now you have infinite grenades in run. You carry this gun in your loadout. Or if you're playing co-op, you carry this as well, makes it easier. And even with a Phoenix pod too, it's kind of nuts. Look how far you can throw it. And you have 2 of them available to you. So if I die to this trap here... Oh, never mind. If I die to the trap there, I could be able to respawn. Which is kind of nuts. So pistons don't really work, which I'm glad to see that, because having everything covered up by a piston is a bit annoying. So glad to see there's a different change there. Incin, though, is very interesting. This would be maybe peak. And I have some ideas what to do with, this with, and it has to go with my Flamewalker build from our last video on Meteor Maker. And I think that would work wonders. Like, it actually could become crazy meta. That'd be really fun for a base. I might even keep that as an idea for a base. Like a crazy, crazy base. Which you'll see on the channel. At full release. We'll try this. Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's just the timing of concealment. It's obviously a bit of an issue, but it works. Okay, happy. You could even mix it a bit with some other mechanics. Depending how you position people too. And how far they are, so it makes it deadly. One like this? No. This could work. Trying to think of a way to activate this. I need a bit more space, but it's alright. We'll just do with what we got. Because you want to try and pull the understanding of the player's perception to a certain angle. So then you can have possibly a Ravager shoot through the flames and also Sentry at the same time activate. So it makes this weird mechanic where you can't push because you could get killed by a Ravager or whatever trap's laying next. Then you can't stay because the flame will kill you. And when you run away, you still get potentially killed by the Ravager or the Sentry beam all at once. So that could become a really fun mechanic. Just trying to think of how not to kill this guy. If he stands to the left, well, the beam wouldn't kill him. And also, I keep forgetting the beam doesn't need that much space. You can literally place it right there, and it'll still work. Because you don't need a cube. Which is so good. And you can use it from above, too. Well, that's going to look nuts. I'm trying this out for my curiosity. Okay, let's see. Like, I can see this working with a whole bunch of layering of mechanics, not single-handedly. Because I think the beam will get too easy to counter on its own. Oh my god, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. No, he died! It actually got him. It's pretty cool looking, not gonna lie. How would you mix that all together? They're holograms, so we can't even test it. I think that what activated to kill this? Was it this? There's a certain angle that killed it. I do want to test this. I think I can still shoot him. He's actually way better off just standing there. These pistons don't really work at all. Corrosive cubes obviously do work to a certain degree, but in this case wouldn't. They only break line of sight. You won't be able to ricochet through it. So if he somehow shoots towards it, it's just like by chance that happened. Or by the certain angle they make. From the tracking method. I'll play level here, but since we're on foundation, we can't really do it. Because you'll be able to hide that angle from like a spiral of staircases, like ramping up and ramping down in a opposite direction like this. It would work. Then you can actually conceal it properly. Even then, nothing stops me from shooting this. I'm very limited right now with what I can actually do. And I wish I had everything. Because I do think I could test it better with other mechanics if I had them accessible to me. I'm getting it. Like, I can see it being a nuisance with a whole bunch of other mechanics layering it upon it. And this has become a supplementary thing. So instead of using, like, plasma clouds as your main form of combinations that many people use, you would end up supplying it for Sentry beams. Because they are much cheaper in the next update compared to plasma cloud overall. As a trap of choice. Obviously, you have less traps if you want to go for that playstyle. But it seems like you don't need to. Trying to think of what else I could show in this time. Because I do want to show more. We show the weapon, how it works, the understanding of the Ravager as well. Because it seems like it just shoots in a horizontal pattern. And I think if it has the opportunity to actually have another modifier that can make it look like Relentless. Okay, it can just shoot like a minigun to a certain degree. Like 6 shots in a random pattern anywhere.
Maybe we've lost hope.
Mimicking this aspect here. A flurry of bolts in rapid succession. I think that'd be really good for the Ravager as an add-on. I can see that working easily too. Or even changing the way it shoots too. So instead of being like potentially horizontal, maybe it's more of a actual inner cone, like a very close scattered version of the shots. Instead of being like a whole bunch of shots at once, but that doesn't really change too much, except perception, how you see it, more than actually how you deflect it, because it's the same instance. That's why I think a relentless version of that version would be really nice.
We have our cure.
I do want to test that bomb ejector, because what you could do, in theory, you could have a bomb ejector planted in a certain angle, which then doesn't conceal the Sentry beam, but allows the Sentry beam to have a tighter ricochet pattern, because it's hitting another solid object. So I think that'd be really fun in that aspect there. And even if you think about it, if you had like a chaotic version of the bomb ejector, and it was actually chasing away or chasing towards a player, and the Sentry beam was actually activated at the same time while tracking, it would still chase him in even a crazy angle that makes it very unpredictable. Which, having a sense of unpredictability, could actually give you crazy insane kills in the game as well. Yeah, I can see a base being easily made with the understanding of not using bolts, maybe not using pistons as well, only for a certain points to create some change in the pattern of your base, but using bomb ejectors, corrosive cubes, hollow cubes to a certain degree to play gimmicks on them with certain traps. Incense will be a must. Then, Sentry beams and even Iron Claw. You play the displacement while they're getting tracked as well, and they lose sense of orientation. And that can maybe get an easy, cheeky kill too. But it doesn't really stop you from using this, except because of cost. You can think about using a Plasma with Plasma Cloud too, and your Sentry Beam will still be able to surpass the Plasma Cloud at the same time. So it could be a way to actually cover it up so you don't really see it as well. So you can still have combinations without using bolt gun of instant plasma and sentry beam at the same instance of damage output, and that might be optimal. And then also having a bomb ejector in certain angles, so if they do surpass it, there's a way to get them killed for surpassing it. That might be the go-to, the bread and butter combo. And obviously, depending on your formation, the spacing, that all changes how it comes together.
It's strange, but you got it.
Let's jump back into the outpost one more time. I just want to double check one more thing. And the new vibe's good. The new vibe's good. I like it. It's completely different from the other side, being more dry, sandy. Now we got wetlands, wet shores. It's great. What I wanted to test actually was the arc barrier. See the changes towards that. Wait, did I deflect it? It still feels like a long duration, not gonna lie. Maybe because I don't have a max duration. Actually, you space yourself between the shots, watch. Oh wait, I missed that one. Wait, what? Why is it moving the same? There you go. You can actually space yourself. Very easy. Oh, too much. I swung too much. Kind of interesting to do this without actually having any deflect. It does have the same mimic of a bolt. You could actually do it. It's always percentage based, depending on your understanding of how the projectile does land. And that will give you a great chance of survival. I can't tell if that's longer or identical to what it was before, but obviously if you don't use the class, it's lessened. Interesting. And to be completely frank, this might be good in open areas and then making it go into a tighter corridor. Like, activation should be from somewhere that you can't see in concealment. You can actually hide it in a corner where someone's running. In my understanding of it, like, they have a tight corner and they're running it, but there's an opening there which they can't see from the perception of running to the right. They have a corner there they didn't check. That activates. It doesn't fully track them, but the shot ricochets in whatever corridor they're in. I do want to show this, how it would work. I think it'd be kind of cool. Let's check the tracking as well, the range of it, how it works. Oh! That's how it tracks. Okay. So I was right, it's better in open areas. Interesting. Unless that's the new tracking way to highlight it. Because it didn't have any perks that actually track or enhances tracking. Except for speed. Or where it tracks, the redirection of it. Not the actual detection range. At this current time. So that's very interesting. That will be very useful in open areas. It's an insane shape. Yeah, that's insane. Okay. So it can activate through this. But it won't activate through this. So what you would do, you would put, in theory, 2 holograms here. So when people are running, and they're like, oh shit, I'm safe, go underneath. Oh wait, hologram, 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 and then dead. That would be interesting. Yeah, I think that'd be very interesting to see. You would even put that higher. Like, way higher, too. We cover this up. Let's try this. What's going on here? I have no idea. It's me, Maker, a new update, building a base, or building a certain understanding of what we can do with the new mechanics in Meet Your Maker, the new update, which will be coming out on June 27th. So it's super early access, exclusive access, and I wanted to actually showcase this. So you can't really see it. Imagine if you actually had this block area, this area blocked too. She would run past, look, I'm safe, okay, I'm still safe. Then going through, and then that goes in and actually gets a shot on you. But obviously, whatever trap you go into after, you could potentially die. But I think hologram there would be nice. Then you could play with high ceilings, maybe? You could play with insanely high ceilings. You could. Like, really well, too. I just don't have enough points for hologram. Damn it. I would love to test it. I would put it up way higher. Maybe even further? Like there? Is that too far? That might be too far. No, that could be... Oh, that could be too far. You know what this kind of encourages in that cone shape? Is actually to have... Wait a minute. Can I stand here? I just want to stand here and see if it activates. So I was right about the high ceilings, but to what degree? It all depends on how it activates. Oh my god. I get it. That is ridiculous. And it's infinite, by the way. I can do that, though. Just ricochet back to its own self. Very cool. Love the red and blue setting. The red lasers in the blue background. Quite nice. So it looks like you can actually create potential high ceilings like I thought you could. Like, we have a base. I don't know if I have it still playable as a social. There was a base I had that was based on... I can make it here, actually. It won't be the same, but the fundamentals will be there. Let me build this. So imagine it to be like some type of cube formation, high ceilings. I think it was around 3 at that current time. That looks like 4, to be honest. We could pull a 4. Let me try up here. Let me try to pull a 5. Actually, you want it down to 4. 5 means they're safe. Yeah, 5 means they're safe. Like, really, really safe. Because if they stand in the inner cone and they understand the Venn diagram that's created from that height, they can just stand here and they never get killed by any trap. Unless that still count. Wait, does that still count to be inside the cone? I think it does, actually. Wait. Let me try. Let me try. Let me cook. Let me cook. Hey, Bunny, how you going on Twitch? And Car, how you going? Hope you catch your live stream. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad you're here. So let's go from here. You can't get this angle no matter what. It's near impossible. So that was a safe zone. But that's meant because that blocking area there. It is. So what you would do is actually build it like this. Something like that. Then... And the spacing here, I think this is good spacing, actually. Like, just from the first shot as well. That's really good spacing. Could be wrong. Let me see. So it has to be full. I thought maybe it was the blocks underneath it, but no, it's not. It has to be full. So you put it down here. This could be a premise for my future base. I'm not gonna lie about that. That is God tier, if it can be. I love it. We just thought about it on stream too. That's crazy. Okay, let's just destroy that. Then, whoa, not that. Oh, this is gonna be hilarious. Let me build this. Now, it should work to a certain degree like I wanted. Also, you can make these more closer to together, which will make it more quicker ricochet instead of being so spread apart. That works, yeah? Doesn't seem like it's safe anymore, does it? Let's try. Let's try, mates. Oh, I'm already there, damn it. It is not safe at all. That is so cool. The chance of this breaking itself though is pretty high. So what would you actually do here is actually create another mechanic. Oh, this is disgusting. Wait. What you do is actually create a, I think you classify like an inner column in order for it to divert to different angles without reflecting back towards the trap itself. Because that seems to be an issue, that it goes back to the trap itself sometimes if it's too widely open. Let's try this. Like something like this. Ooh, this would be cool. So it actually splits the path. Maybe not resource rich, but we can try to make something happen here. Let me try it like this. Actually, I'll do the whole thing. Why not? Stop there. Could even create gaps. So instead of actually building it in, you can fake it initially. So it ricochets and then it doesn't ricochet as much. So it actually goes through from one side to another. Test it again. That's not Scooby-Doo. What do you mean? The actual laser show? Okay, let's see. What? Oh, do they shoot each other? That's some crazy angles. Okay, I'm thinking maybe too high up. And maybe positioning changes. Maybe they shouldn't be both on the same elevation. So what's happening, it's actually ricocheting back towards the same angle or the opposing angle and actually destroying it. Let's destroy this section here. We'll play this in a bit. What up, big dog? How you doing, Juicy James? We're doing very well. The T2 membership for 15 months. Absolute legend. Absolute mad lad. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. And welcome to the follow on Twitch, by the way. I'm glad to see that. Okay, what we could do potentially is play with this angle. Maybe is too steep still. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting, but then you would have to somehow point it down. How would we do this? Okay. Let's try this. Something to stop them from firing? Yeah, that could be a good idea too. It's kind of hard. The only way you can actually displace a raider is through Iron Claw. That's the only thing you can really use. And it could work here. You drag him. This did work better. You know what I'm not thinking about? The bottom. It shouldn't be straight. That's what's costing it. It shouldn't be straight. It should actually push the player in more and funnel them. So that they're forced to play aerial. And if they're not good at aerial, they just die. Like something like that, maybe. These weren't as effective, the ones pointing up, but the ones pointing down did work to a certain degree. And if we use the idea of an Iron Claw, just for testing's sake. Well, the blocks just went in the distance somewhere. Oh, I don't have Iron Claw. Damn it. I wanted to test it. I wanted to test it. Oh, dude. It would have been so cool. Because you are right. Keeping them in more of a standstill position will help out. And they can actually create some insane chain of events. No pun intended. Look now, I'm stuck here. Which means it actually angles better. Then what you need to do is actually play with the aerial state. This is actually kind of cool because you have to think in a weirder way compared to other formers. So you actually have to build something that angles back down too. Is it this? Is that it? Will that save it? I actually want to block this way to see how it ricochets inside here. Because you could actually create a like 2-point engagement where if you go through here and then you choose whatever hole you go into, it's actually mimicking the same corridor, and that pushes you into a area where these shots can still activate and ricochet. And then you have to deal with whatever turn or events happen right after that corner or in this corridor. I think I really like this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, mates. That could be disgusting. That could actually be very disgusting. In a good way, too. I'm going to keep this all saved. Or at least the live stream will be saved, so we can actually utilize this as a foundation if it doesn't get pulled into the live server. Which is something I don't know yet. So force play to go here. And make a turn here. That's also without the new factors, by the way. So we now have the effects activated. So let's put over amplify. And also widening, I think. And that conjunction should help out quite a bit. Let's try this. Okay, got them all modified. Guys, this is out. Oh, I thought I saw the angle. Okay, cool. Go in there. Oh, you have to actually angle this too. Yeah, you can't use squares. Don't use squares. Squares is just an issue straight away. I can tell you that. Squares is fundamentally going to get you killed. Or make your traps useless. So what you do is actually make everything a 3-piece. Absolutely everything. Especially if it's a point of movement in any capacity. Because then it makes it much more random. Say like something like this. Into something like that. We can block this because it doesn't matter. You can put these downwards. Actually, no. Yeah, it's all about understanding of spatial reality to a certain degree. And it's just pretty much the space between moment-to-moment gameplay, which is very important. And I know that this cube, this formation on this triangle will be your bread and butter for this trap. And I can see how it works. Like, we've got some lineups, and it's actually working. It's just, you need to still track or initially detect someone. And then from there, when he breaks the line of sight, it still activates. So you can actually have a trap that just activates when a person just steps here for a small step. It activates automatically through a slit, and then that ricochets into this room. And the way you could do this is... Let me see. Has to be a crazy angle. Like, I'm telling you, crazy, crazy. Like that. Let's try this. It's that one right there. See that? That will get you killed. This trap will single-handedly kill you. And there's nothing you can do about it. I can tell you that straight away. And then you combo this into... possibly this formation? But you would actually want it to space out further down. You would want the player to ramp in and then ramp down. Oh, I like this. Wait. Let me try this. Let's delete these ones next to it. Let's put this on what we think is best. Pinball. Let's try it. Testing phase, mates. The testing phase. And thank you, Rev, for that input. It means important. It means so much. Because I think it would be very technical. So now let's test it. Obviously the other ones will activate. Oh, it didn't activate. Wait, maybe a little bit lower. A bit lower. So we need this to... Wait, we can use other... Wait. Oh, we forget. So you're actually using a couple things here. Yes, Simon, I'm glad. I think you should use a couple of things here. You would have to use this cube. This piece, sorry. I completely forgot about using this. This will make it much more crazier too. That will still cover it to a certain degree, so you won't be able to see it as much. Oh, this is deadly. You can even cover it completely so you never actually see it. And that could still activate if someone takes a sharp corner. Which every player in this game takes sharp corners. Because it actually speeds run through the progress. Yes, lasers can destroy other traps, correct. And we tested that. It destroys everything that it can. It's classified as a projectile to a certain degree. Like how a bolt can kill a piston. Same aspect there. But you can't use... But it also works as a way to shoot through other mechanics like flames and such. Which we tested as well. This will work. Ah, there we go. Now, getting this angle, it will be very interesting. What do you go for here? Do you go for... Oh, you extend it. No, you don't extend it. So it works in essence. But see how squares don't work at all? Squares are just trash in a base like this. You cannot use squares. And I think the value will come from using only one of these, not a lot of them. Because if you use one or two in certain positions like this, and players surpass area where speedrunning, but they get killed by getting shot in the back by one of these traps, is going to be disgustingly good. And you can actually hide it with using high ceilings. So people don't really look around unless they really observe it. So they go through here. That will shoot through there. That will bounce off this. Then from this angle, maybe around there, which then we can possibly bounce. Actually, how do we bounce this? No, they'll go up. They'll go that way. This. Depending how this hits. It's all about the way that hits. Let's just test it for theory's sake. To me, one they have to be very methodical with. Like, you actually have to take time, a lot of it, to understand how the trap works, not just by the way it shoots, but, oh look, it's a laser. It's the way it actually directs itself into areas. It kind of worked. It just needs to be another box there that makes it bounce off. Huh. I think I get it. I'm starting to get it more and more. So, what you could do is actually possibly put it a bit further. Thing around here. You don't want it to reflect back. That's the hard part. Well, then you just lost all your value. Is it this? No. Would that work best? I am trying to think for the life of me how to get this angle, but I don't think it's actually possible, the one I want. I have to be through multiple pieces. That won't work too as well, but we'll test it. Yeah, you essentially create this like corridor system where you play with high ceiling into low, into open space, back into a formation of that continuously. So you play with like a flow. And then if people realize what the flow is, then they'll be able to obviously be prepared for it and try to stop it. But if they're not ready for it, it's just going to ruin them. Like multiple times too. Especially with other mechanics. We have minions in play too. Even though they can get killed by the laser, I think it's still worthy enough to use. So let's test it. Oh, it's close. It's close. Okay. Better. Better. So it gets to this point here, which after 5 angles, that's pretty good. It bounced off this too, if I believe. Let's try again. This time around, it doesn't go too far. Deadly. Deadly. That's useless. So what we can do is actually take that away. Oh, so hexagon rooms. Okay. Hexagon rooms. That's the thing. Because what ends up happening if you use this, it doesn't really go anywhere except backwards. It's kind of hard to utilize. Maybe you put it down, maybe it helps, but if you point it down, all it's going to do is try and ricochet to one of these walls here. Which still be very useful, not going to lie. Because then players are second guessing if they move forward or not. The way you can do that is by first blocking this area. Placing something like that. And it could potentially bounce off this into this. But then this becomes like a line segment. Like a horizontal laser. So it doesn't matter what's happening here. It matters what's happening here and how it pushes them to stay in this point when they get killed. It's so hard to explain. It's actually so advanced. Because it's all about... There's like a couple things. First you have the placement of your trap. Very important. Then you have what blocks you should use. the trajectory of how it actually goes through phases of first, activation through detection, second, tracking, and then third, laser. And then how all that timing there that's necessary in order for it to start the projectile and have the beam go a certain way. And then from there, the understanding of how it ricochets into other formations in order to get your certain output or whatever you desire. And this has multiple approaches. It can be used to stop speedrunning. It can be actually a way to create crazy checkpoints without using any pistons. Okay, I'll try that, Andrew. We'll give that a go as well. Like, what do you, I'll double test what you're trying to say, and we'll test it out. Oh, I mean, like, just four triangles, like a triangle here, triangle that way, triangle that down, and then triangle back. With some, like, middle point. You can try that, that's what you're trying to say. That doesn't work that well. This might suck. It'd be for such a unique angle. Like, I'm telling you, really unique. I can't see the angle, see? It doesn't come up. There's no good angle for it. Unless you're camping here in this nook for dear life, then you're dead. You see? Yeah, rubbish. I know what it is. I think it's just hexagons. So, like... Let me try this here. And right next to the gym mat. How fitting. How fitting. So this into... this. To that. This is funny because you're just gonna die. Wait, the traps are gonna kill each other. Is that what you're trying to say? Like something like this? No way it's that. No way. It won't work unless... It won't work because it would actually hit each other. Unless you take away these. And maybe then, but even then it's gonna go back to another angle and kill it. It won't work. It would have been hilarious though. You can put a spacer to give it more room. I don't know. I actually don't like it like that. There's a wall full of them, all shooting down a long hallway with a bunch of triangle pieces to reflect off to see if you can get most amount of coverage. I think that's what I was trying to do here though. I don't think it's really this. Because look, they're just going to destroy each other. If not destroy each other. I actually didn't. I destroyed one. There's some over there. I think it would be better the way I highlighted it. If that was what you're trying to say. This could be way better. As a way to have one hallway as a decoy, a second hallway as engagement by decoy entry points, and then have trap setups from above that go into certain angles where you can't see. So you can actually have a third hallway here and play with where do you actually go, even though it become quite obvious because you have a back wall with the trap here to hopefully stop them from going in the corridors. That would be a fun base. I think that's what I'm going to be working on with this build, because I think that's maybe optimal. Because I don't think a trap will ever get this far initially from that angle. You'd have to reflect in a crazy, crazy way. Or have a lower trap placed somewhere, hidden here. Or one of the decoy areas. So when someone turns initially to think it's, oh yeah, I'm safe, one of the decoy areas actually has a trap there that activates and is angled towards that sector there. So they can't actually go to the next point either way. Yes, we have early access. Correct. That's how you can see all the blue. Look at it. Look how pretty it is. It's crazy. So yes, kids, we have early access. Really fun to see. We could try to think of how furthermore test this, because its application's quite hard. Obviously, you could put it like plasma clouds, just have a whole way and just do that, but that's not fun. That is not fun. But this is fun. I like this build. Obviously, I have to work on it. But I still think like you could even play with the understanding of high verticality, and when a player engages the first time around, there'll be some decoy areas where that will still be able to shoot and redirect. Like you can create an initial point when it actually tracks you, a secondary point where there's a hologram in between, but now since you've walked past it, you've opened up the hologram and it still has full tracking on you and activates. That would be the bread and butter. To do something like that, where you make players feel like they have a false sense of security because they see an actual wall or a roof or ceiling to a certain degree, feel like they're safe in the shelter, but actually, it's another sight line where you die. Or a chance for it to shoot. Well, the new perks for the suit, they're defensive. Defensive perks. Let me see. Can I even show it from a screen? I cannot. There's no way I can show it from a screen. Oh, actually, maybe we can do it from loadout. If I'm standing still. There you go. This is one of the skins, though. So this is the skin pack for the new character. The Nautilus. The new weapon, Demolition Cannon. Perks. Not all of them are here. At the moment, because I haven't unlocked them. That's the base skin for this character is... Can't see here too, wait. Give me a second. Let me just back out the outpost and I'll show you. Make it much easier. It's actually right here. So, Nautilus. That's his standard skin. And we have counter charge. Helps with perfect blocking. Then you have block lock as well, which is another perfect block mechanic. So the understanding of the character is more defensive. So it's supposed to help with the defensive properties. So any perfect block mechanic being deflect, sword, or arc barrier is just extended much more, which means as a solo player, you can keep yourself alive much more longer. For co-op, you can do much more crazy stuff and do it more often without pausing for waiting for your refreshing of abilities to use. Or activations of like arc barrier and such. And surge override, which decreases the recharge time by 20%. Pretty good. You can see this in combination with other classes. It can be quite fun to utilize. It depends. Oh, Andrew, I get it. So that could be interesting. Oh, I guess if you actually main barrier too, use this. You have to. Like, I think Nautilus will become your bread and butter. That is his default skin. And I believe his other skin is here, which is the one I showed you before. Okay, the Big Daddy suit from Bioshock. There you go. Clean additions. And then the actual weapon itself with its skin. That being the Demolition Cannon. And you have the Blaster variant, the standard one. Which will still work in the way, it pretty much is like a replacement of the grenades. So if you don't want your grenades as gadgets, you can use your grenades as a weapon instead. And be able to pick up those grenades continuously. So maybe a co-op experience weapon more than anything, and it can still work for solo play too. Like, this will immediately be better than using the crossbow or the plasma bow, no matter what. Due to the fact that it has AoE. But obviously be careful with AoE, because you can actually kill yourself with that. Even in solo play. You're very much welcome. Then we have the aspect of Like, your idea of actually angling it to a certain degree, like, it's similar to this, but instead of actually having the high... That was the one thing I was questioning, is this placement. Like, oh, sorry, placement of the trap. Because you can have them like this, high up and angle down, or initially just have them as squares. So you're thinking just having them as squares with a secondary hallway as well. Like what we offered in the first base. Let me try this. Can't believe it. A simple laser adds so much complexity. Like, I don't feel like... In my head, I was like, oh yeah, laser. Cool. How it works will be interesting. And it is very interesting. So we're going to have one hallway that leads to that area there. Try and segregate it as well, so we can see everything. Then we have... Say... Maybe this is the entry point here, initially. It's like this. Then you have... Maybe traps further back. And you create these spots here, so it covers up some of the points of interjection. Like that. Then trap mechanic should be over here. And now the goal would be to get it to bounce into other areas, and you're saying triangle. But I'm not thinking... I don't think you're meaning triangle-like, pointing upwards at all, or even like this. I think you're actually trying to say this, which would work. You can do like this, and then... Let me see, let me cook. You actually block this too, so maybe they don't see it. Wait a minute. This last part, let me see. I mean, if you had a flat wall at the end with the same, like, 8 of them, and all pointed the entry to halls and shots at the same doorway at the same time, since it will be different. Yeah, this will be based on more RNG, though. Because I can see it happening. But now it's no longer like, we're predicting it. It's now just like, let shit go crazy and reap the benefits of it going crazy. Which is not a bad thing, to say the least. It still works. Might be just this formation. Let me cook. I know people complaining. Let me cook. I have some ideas. I just want to test it as much as possible. I swear it's going to be hexagon shapes as well, to give enough room to actually space the laser beams. Let's try it. Just want to see how it looks. Because the problem is it's too obvious. And you would have to conceal them. Or protect them in a certain way down this corridor. So players are forced into this secondary corridor. I don't know. You know what? This is actually going to take some time. I do like this mechanic much more here that presented than this. Because you would have to still conceal this. And it's so close that if someone just sees it, I just break this, break that, and the gimmick is already broken completely. Well, with this gimmick, you play more corridors and it would work better without destroying the other lasers too. Because if I put lasers on the other side at this same elevation, what will end up happening, this laser will somehow ricochet to that. So it would actually ruin it. Or ruin the potential chances of it working to be at full effect. And once we have more currency to utilize, obviously building this could be much more interesting. And testing out if my bomb ejector theory was right, which then playing at the elevation that I'm imposing here with bomb ejectors will be absolute god tier. Like, you will not be able to pass that without timing yourself really well or breaking the initial traps in order to, you know, keep yourself surviving. It's the only chance you really have. But there's so much like thought in this. There's too many things to calculate. It's so RNG-like with numbers. It's unbelievable. There's a certain property that is there. It's like, oh, look, what if this happens? You'll be able to hit this perfect lineup, but it just ricochets everywhere and goes towards the gem mat, and you're not safe at all. To get that perfect lineup means that the person that's tracking gets hit immediately. And I think this perk here, Target Lock, which is supposed to increase the tracking speed, is maybe not working the way it says. Because I think it's a redirecting speed, not time to cast. And having something that's time to cast on the Sentry Beam and making it actually activate faster upon tracking on the opponent is very important, I think. Because if I can get the beam to activate as soon as he comes in contact with this, I can actually make a pointed trajectory that I can always have as a control environment to get that kill. And then also have random ones here, which just bounce more than anything to create chaos and havoc towards the raider. So they have to make some quick thought, but they forget and they just end up being in this middle area and they die. Like, it's a guaranteed death. And I think this perk isn't working right. Oh, sorry, this one here. Or it just seems like it's working a different way. Which is not an issue, but in my head I feel like it'd be kind of cool to see it as a quicker cast than tracking speed. Or a bit of both. Tracking speed fast and quicker cast time. Maybe that's the reason why it's worth 5 points. This is hard to, like, prove. I don't really see it. That's the hard part. Like, I want to actually see the ability, how it actually increases its width, but it feels like it's so subtle that it does nothing. Okay. I do see the width. Oh, he broke that trap. I do see the width increase on this. Like, it is much apparent that it's thicker, but does it kill you in the same position? Look, I'm not burning. I feel like I'm pretty close. Well, this seems similar. I feel like I'm pretty close to them. They both don't change. Yeah, that's really close. So, I was thinking in my head that if the width of the beam is actually increased, which means it takes more room, meaning that it can kill a player at a bit of more of a distance. Like, it's gathered more distance, or it ricochets quicker, or is able to ricochet off a corner like this and split. But I can't prove that. I don't think I can. Such a hard thing to prove. I've had to stand in an angle that allows that. Nah, doesn't split. Maybe more to the right. Let's see. Nah, it doesn't work the way I think. Okay, cool. So I was hoping that it would increase capabilities more than anything. Like, if you would have a bigger width, it would create 2 points of, like a split off. Essentially splits off the beam. That's what I thought it would do. I think that would be much more of like a whoa moment, like this is nuts, than what it's doing right now, which is just increasing the width just by a bit. And it seems more chaotic, but it actually does... Wait, what is the angle that the beam deflects off? Surfaces. Wait, this, honestly, there's like lingo, and it's not making sense. I understand this. This is 2 more bounces, easy. Better tracking to a certain degree. And then this is just wider. But the image shows it as like, looks like it's wider, then it hits something, then it becomes larger. So it looks like maybe off each surface it becomes larger. Even then, I don't know. Oh, yeah, 100%. Good ceiling traps. It could work. But it can't be ceiling traps just with like a straight line. It wouldn't work that way. Oh, no, I blew it up. I want to try to test this and see if I can actually activate it off multiple surfaces. It didn't activate. Okay, wait, you know what? Put a modifier. We'll put the additional beams of the amplifier. There we go. And hopefully we can make it bounce and get it to do what we need to. Oh, so that wall there's not perfect for it. I still think you should make things different angles. Like parallel towards each other, but then also bounce at different angles with it. Honestly, it looks like it went less. Did that widen? It didn't widen. Huh. Okay. That's nice setup there. That's disgusting. Like, it's going for your legs. That is insane. What do you think about this? What if you were to make it like a bottom trap? Like it goes for your feet, because we know it aims your feet. Like, it's like a node on the floor and it aims your feet. So if that's the case, let me go to building, sorry. If that's the case, you could possibly do something that's out of the ground in some way. I'll take that off for a second. Let's see. You could really conceal this in a really good way and have a combination of, I want to say, underground traps and above traps. So we're going to change the terminology. Instead of having everything grounded and above, it's now grounded, above, and underground. I told you. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Now watch this. Now watch this. Now you put this on an angle, which this is guaranteed output. Oh, my God. I got it. I think I figured it out. To a certain degree, I think I figured it out. Watch this disgusting thing. Oh, we need to get closer. Oh, we just need a bit more. So what you would do is actually space this, or maybe angle it, because the way it's angling is really bad. Give me a second. Just that? Is that enough? Yeah, I'll put grapple traps everywhere. I think grapple will be your bread and butter. Because sacrificing a grapple of 10 to 20 points at any point when there's lasers might be the way it works. That's kind of scary, no? That's kind of scary. Look at that. And then you create... the practicality of this is going to be hard. That's the only issue. And the one problem is I'm trying to figure out a way to make it bounce to a certain angle without having a square. Because square, what it does... Wait, maybe here. Maybe it's the floor more than anything than above. Let's try this. We gotta try this. Yeah, you can have it hold you up, hold you in place. But the thing is, I don't have them unlocked at the moment, as you see. I have to go back into building. I don't have it unlocked on this account. So we'll test that most likely later on. Because what we're trying to do is essentially make it more controlled. That is the goal. If you're able to control it and guide it, then there's not much predictability for players because they have to understand how it works, which at this point, I think for a casual player, this may be an advanced thing to control. But that's what's going to make it fun and enjoyable. That is not going to work. That went directly between it, so it actually counts as a flat ground. That's crazy. I'm trying to figure it out. I am trying my very best. Because right now it does feel random more than anything. Look at that. Oh my god, look at that. Tell me how do you pass that? If you don't see that around a corner, you're pretty much cooking. Then you have to angle it in a way that angles. Let's see this cast. Then you just angle this the other way, and you're just dead. Look at this. I do want to try this, but... No, because it doesn't really work, because it doesn't split. What I wanted to do is split, and it doesn't work the way that I want for it to work. I think I've got an idea for it. I think it actually works pretty well. But still, you have to cover it up. That's the thing. You would sacrifice a lot of, a bit more cubes for this singular trap that can allow you to create some crazy opportunities. Was that right? It's still too high up. Angle it down there. Not bad, not bad. Oh, look how good that is. That is what the pinnacle is. That is so good. Okay. Imagine 3 on each side like this. Like, the amount of panic that would occur would be insane. I think it's actually supposed to be like a angled prism. So even having a flat area like this is bad. We'd have to angle it. But I'm just trying to figure out what angle would it be. Because you don't want it to just go bounce up, and then you create too much vertical space. Let's try that. Into... Possibly. That's a bit of a fluke, but let's see. Let's see. Oh, triangle pieces? I think the whole thing has to be triangle. I didn't try to do it there, but I'm like, I wanted to play with high ceilings, so I used cubes initially, just to get the understanding of size. But you were right, I think it's 100% triangle. In the start of the live stream, I said triangles would be the best, and you have to make some type of prism structure. It would be the only way it would work. And maybe it would work better as a vertical column. Or vertical structure, sorry. Not the angle I wanted. Jesus Christ. It's his stuffing up now. Is that because it's a square? It's just stopped? No, it doesn't. Oh my god, it went down here. Wait, you could have a beam that goes from there, wraps around, bounces off that into there, into the gen mat. So even if you try to, like, Tokyo drift around here, you're gonna die. Without perk block, obviously. I really want to see... Like, I need someone to actually double-check the stat on that. This one perk is interesting, but... I don't understand that it feels like it's so slow. It feels like it's somehow slower knowing that it's on compared to normal. Which it shouldn't be. But 100% you would create like some type of triangle prism going up. And then that could be enough for it just to work its magic. But whatever sightlines you create, you have to make sure those sightlines don't destroy your trap. Unless you're willing to lose a trap in the process. To possibly get a kill. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's tracking fast, but... then also... No, it tracks faster, yes. In redirection. But shoots... the shooting time is so slowed down. It's unbelievable. It doesn't say that. But when I try it, it feels much slower. Look, I'll try one without it. Initially, so just the neutral. Give me a second, mates. Okay. So what it does, we pass this area. Normal cast speed. Normal. Dry shape. Do it again. Now with the new buff, let's put that on. Look how long. Look, I'm going insane from how long that is. Look. Those run. Tracking better. Okay, cool. It's pretty much going towards my location. Now do it again. It's literally like a second slower, or even 2 seconds. Unless it's like in my mind tripping out. I think it is like a second slower somehow. Oh, you're saying 6 seconds, even much slower. See, I don't understand it. I didn't get it. I feel like it's counterintuitive. Like, yeah, okay, cool. I have a better tracking perk, but at what cost? The cost of shooting faster, which it shouldn't be the case of, at all, because you always want to shoot faster, unless you want to play a time game, which what would end up happening? You would have certain, like, if this is what they were thinking about in the process of how players would use it, you could possibly use it as a way to create points where you have a very open one that looks like it's about to charge, and people run to like a side compartment, but then there's another one ready charging with the same audio setting, because you hear the audio activate on that, and maybe this will be too similar at the same point, and this will activate quicker than this. So if you escape this, if you didn't die, then go into this, you will die. Like, maybe that's the idea, but still like so chance based. Yeah, I was thinking denial thing too, but there's many better denial things than that. Like a stalling mechanic, it could be, but then what ends up happening is just back to the corridors again. You would use pistons, this, and even sacrifice this, or have it activate and just don't even care, and then even take away the pistons and just have flame traps and this. And what would occur is that players won't be able to move because they hear this aiming but doing absolutely nothing. That's hilarious. But I do like using that with instant either way. I think it'd be fun. A fun little gimmick where you can actually never lose the instant in any factor, and that will still be able to shoot through that slit mechanic that we made over there. You see that little corner thing, and you get enough power to hopefully kill someone with it. I think that would be good. Trying to think of how else can do this, because it's gonna be a lengthy process, I would say, to make something very challenging with this. You have to think about it quite a bit, because there's too many variables. And most likely many people will use this as what I said before with flames, because that might be the best option, or just corridors when there's a whole bunch of them, so they're just anything happens, you know, you don't know what happens until it happens, or you just wait for everything to activate and destroy each other. Yeah, I think V's synergy is too good, which is a good thing. It will make it fun to build a base like that. Then with holograms as well, I think that'd be fun. And then you could just do like other things on the off chance that it will catch out players, so they have to reset again and play with the unpredictability of this. Because that will be the goal, is to keep them going back to the start or wherever the point they are, and verse this trap again. But I feel like the new meta is Phoenix pods, because you're not really losing too much if you die, I think, with the new rank system, possibly. Then I think you would end up using Phoenix pods and Arc Barrier. Wait, you would use Phoenix pods, Force Shield as your gadgets, then use the new cannon as your weapon alongside Arc Barrier. Or, if not cannon, you will use just the normal range weapon. I think that would be the meta build, just to go through bases and just get stuff done. You even carry grenades and also that, and use your Force Shield instead of using Arc Barrier, which means you don't need to utilize the new Custodian as much. You can still stick with the range Custodian, and that would help out either way. Unless you want to be Deflect God, and then you run Deflect Blade and Arc Barrier and use the other item, the other Custodian, Nautilus, to factor. That could be fun too. That's more of like a fun challenge. That's where there's always gonna be like a meta, and that meta will be there no matter what. But they can also go for possibilities when you just want to have fun and do crazy challenges, and things when it's 100% not in your favor but still fun to play. That could be it. when you're just trying to survive at all costs, even though there's a lot of stuff going around you, and you're trying to use your defensive capabilities to perfect block as much as possible to survive any situation. Is there anything you may want to see from us on this update, from what you've seen today? Like anything else? Because I feel like I've shown everything in its entirety. Now it just comes down to more the dark and gritty moments of going through hours and hours of hours to make sure a base works to its perfection. Or you can just make a flashy base and just have fun with it. So I feel like the laser beams will be more fun initially, and then there'll be a mechanic where everybody's on the same page, or a way to build a structure that works. And I think a rotating structure would be nice as well. It's alright, it's social, it's alright. I understand. I think a rotating structure, like having panels rotate like in a crazy fashion, would be really nice. Because you can actually have a balance easily. It's just where you actually get the initial activation is very important. And this can work, I believe. I think Harvey still walks on it, if I'm not mistaken. If you've angled it correctly. You can walk on these platforms. If that's the case, something like this can work. And then you could have like a laser beam somewhere. I just don't know how far you would have it. Because you don't want it far, but you want it to activate. So maybe there's an area here where it's just missing. Or it is one of those areas, either way. And then it just bounces in between. Theory should look like this. To a certain degree. Obviously, you want to hide it as much as possible, because hiding your bread and butter combo is obviously very important. See how much easier it is? That would kill people, I believe, in this formation. But that cannot be seen. That's the only thing. Because if you have a long corridor like this, it'll still activate and still ricochet a couple times, and if you have them concealed in different ways, it'd be good. And I think using what I did over here with the concealment, and also having a tighter corridor like that, even not this corridor here, but this corridor here like that, could help out. And then making certain platforms change depending on the way it enters, on the actual placement initially of the laser trap. So you're playing with placement, you're playing with time of initial activation through detection, tracking into full charge shot of the laser. So that's 4 variables already. And within those 4 variables already, there's a lot of things that can happen. Then it comes down to the actual formation of your structure and how it ricochets. That's the 5th. And then after that, it becomes the add-ons of what extent you want to reach with that. That's 6. And the combinations of that, oh my god, they're insane. There's too many. Too many combinations that you can possibly do with that. Oh, it only activates on impact. Good to know. So you can't like... Wait, do grains do the same thing? Grains are timed, aren't they? Can't actually check, can I? They might be on impact as well. Well, possibly they will be timed, but they're not. It's timed after impact, initial collision. Okay, cool. Interesting, interesting. I think this will be an update that many players will enjoy, especially the building fanatics. And seeing what people come up with will be very interesting. Obviously, I have early access on this, thanks to Behaviour Interactive, for allowing us to do this and test it on the channel today. I think it allows for crazy opportunity for advanced builders. More than anything, advanced builders to go completely nutty over this mechanic. Because it will take thorough understanding of how it works, like we mentioned, and you have to be very methodical with everything you do. Because the goal would be to never have these be revealed to a actual raider in any way. You don't want to see it, you want them to hear it, react, and be like, oh shit, too late. And then they're in this weird combination when they get completely destroyed by this trap, followed by a trap in the corridors, whatever that's happening on the angled surfaces that maybe isn't just laser, aka pulling device, the iron claw. Because if you're able to pull someone here and they get hit, they're pretty much dead. That's why I think the fun is using iron claw in this setup with flames to conceal, and even bloodlust warriors, aka warmongers. That'd be funny. And then even ravagers hiding in corners, so then they'll cover a whole angle as well. So then maybe there's some places where there isn't laser, but there's ravagers hiding in corners. That'll be hilarious. Like in this nook here, there's a ravager, and you can't see him until you fully commit to going this way. You're like, oh, ravager, gotta kill it. He shoots, he dies to the same laser, and then you die to the laser if you dodge his shot, and you die to the laser. I think that'd be kind of cool. And since the Ravager's aspects, to me, is interesting enough, because it takes a lot of space, you would create structures that are more open because of him. So instead of having, like, just a line, you'd usually have, like, an enforcer, like, in a straight line looking down, or from an elevation looking down, or even a canonback doing the exact same thing. You could actually have an open area where Ravager's able to look in multiple entry points and take care of it. And activate not only just a single aspect, but maybe shoot from here and actually be able to hit multiple targets. If. That's like a huge if, but at least he has better output, I believe. And the Ravagers look cool too. So I want to try using them in the new base. I just don't know what other formation I can give it at this current time. Like, I think that is the best use of them. Wait, he has to get so close. Wait, what? The other times he doesn't get close. I do want to test his abilities much more. Let's go over here. From right there. Okay, activates. Wait, he's very close. How would you use him? It's a very interesting one. Yeah, spiral ramp will work, Andrew, for sure. I did say verticality would be good with that trap. It could actually bounce off multiple angles, and it could work. But you can't just have one. You would have to have multiple. And maybe at different points of the spiral ramp, have it be integrated into the positioning. And it does seem like it can go on slanted surfaces. Obviously not these ones. But it does go on the slant surfaces of being like a staircase pretty well. It's just a flat piece. It's not like a actual whole cube like a plasma cloud or the plasma traps. So that's cool. You could actually integrate it really well. And I don't think it would actually ricochet back into the same trap at all because of how tight the area would be, and it would just go down. But it just depends. Something I'll test after for sure. I was gonna test something here. I think it was the armor. I want to see how that worked. I feel like it's decent though. I feel like it's the same thing. Nothing else should be different here in any aspect. You know what? Let's do this. I just want to see what would happen if his range increases. Does he actually shoot? Sorry, his detective range increases. Does he shoot up close still or shoot further away? That would be the most interesting. Because short leash and all the other stuff is, yeah, it's alright. Nothing crazy. Bloodlust could be interesting for this class, as it seems more silent compared to Warmonger, I would say. And it still will surprise you from a jump attack. It's so small. I think that'd be nice. Hey, Freedom, how you going? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. It still shoots up close. So that perk is just not going to work. And the grenade just completely destroys it. Armor ain't going to save you. Tell that. Be clean. Absolutely clean. Actually, kind of contempt. I think... Oh, not contempt, sorry. I think I'm actually happy with the result. I can't think of anything else I really want to test out right now. Because it's going to take thorough testing. Like, multiple iterations of formations, more than anything. And placement of traps. And then if I can have all my other traps active, I can actually test out displacement as well in conjunction. Which I think displacement is the most important. I'm glad to hear that. That means so much. Dude, that means so much. If I go over here, and we've had other traps available towards us, I still would say I will test out
We once worked
bomb
with the
ejector
sentries we now
in
fight.
conjunction, so we can actually have the shot hit a bomb and ricochet off it. I think that would be a cool mechanic, and I can see myself using bomb ejector into corrosive cube into a slight opening with hollow cube available for a beam to go through at the same time with instant down the hallway and potentially... No, that might be the combo. That and maybe Iron Claw to hold them in the corridor for as long as possible. That could become like a lethal combo. But that means there's one instance, depending on how this laser beam acts and the bombs act, where you place these, the laser beam, sorry, the bomb and the laser beam, aka the sentry beam, where you place them will be very important. Because then you may actually destroy other traps, or create this opportunity when if a player does push, they're automatically dead, but that you sacrifice your traps at the same time, or you put them in good positioning, so then it doesn't actually break anything, but just cause moments where the raider is going to die no matter what, which I think will be fun. Very, very fun. Well, if you follow on Twitch, welcome, welcome. Trying to think of anything else I can put in combination. Because for builders, obviously this is all you really have. And then when it comes down to other mechanics, the bolt gun add-ons won't really do much here. Because it's essentially going to destroy traps, which we don't want it. Nothing can help here. I do think using... I I did showcase back in the past, like a splatter into grenade trap combo, when you used to have detective range through bomb traps into splatter, and splatter became very useful then. There's still ways to activate bomb traps through corrosive cubes, but it just ends up being like a tedious thing, but it could work. And they can use that as a way to, hopefully, cause so much noise towards a raider, so they don't know what the hell's going on, and then the sentry is activated from a certain angle and just kills them. Because of all that happening at the same time. Now that will work. Obviously, we talked about the implications of this being very useful. Holocube to a certain degree as well. You can still use this though. Depending on how much it costs, obviously I think they increase the cost for purchase and plasma clouds and such, and the add-ons for this variant of the traps. You can still use it in conjunction with Sentry Beam, and it'll work wonders. Like, there's nothing on a downside. Just seen a TikTok about it. I'm glad to hear that. It's a very fun time. Welcome to the channel. This is more of the building aspects of the game with the new update that's coming out soon. So, very exciting, to say the least.
I do not know why.
when it comes down to countering stuff as well, this doesn't really change much for builders. Like, you don't have to really actively counter this because the defense mechanics in the game have always been a mechanic where you just have to wait for your arc barrier to come back online in order to utilize it. What you want to do, though, is find a way to make Phoenix pods useless. Because the Phoenix pod update will make, obviously, people still die, you still get resources, but they will be able to complete your base no matter what. Because they get 2 of these, and if they're playing co-op, they pretty much have 4 plus revives. It's kind of insane. So that's the only time where this would be needed to be targeted in a certain way in your build, where you actually create an influx of minions, potential traps that linger much more than one instance. So when they put a pod next to the gem mat, they're pretty much going to die, because even if they get killed once, they'll spawn in a place where there's traps everywhere, or minions, and they die again. And I don't think Sentry Beams would be good for that aspect there, next to the gem mat. I think Sentry Beams is good for entry point into middle, but not ending. I think ending, due to the fact of how much time it takes, it'd be more of like a middle trap activating towards end of a segment of your base. And it carries on like that. So if people are speedrunning and they skip the middle, they get killed by it by getting lasered from the back. So that's a cool mechanic. Does the new gun kill the big armored guys in one shot? Yeah, we can try that. Oh, I can't try that, can I? I can't try that, sadly. I don't have the... Because of the build, I don't have all options available yet.
We are bound to this fight, Custodian.
That would be something we have to test if double armor kills it. But from the stats on this weapon, I think so.
Sometimes I think
it will act in the same nature as a nade. Wait. Oh, it might not, actually. But it says everything. It says flesh, armor, and traps. Like, it has all categories. And since being AoE, it makes me feel like it would actually kill him. It even says here, massive damage. So I think in that aspect there, being massive damage, I think that's highlighting the AoE blast radius. I think anything caught in that radius is just instantly dead. Even if you have armor in any capacity, I think it just makes it irrelevant. Something I'll test more in the future for sure. I don't know if I'll test it in the next live stream or possibly on release. Because we'll have a future video when we work on a crazy base. So expect that. I'm very eager to do that. And highlight it in full action. Because I feel like I'm going to make the base pretty much of what has been indicated today. With some mechanics we found out. I feel like I like those mechanics. And I think they would be promising to see in a base. And see the performance of it. And maybe even build upon it in the future. If things go well or not. With that base. So I feel like that's the fun part. When you play Meteor Maker, you go through multiple iterations, become better at it, understand if your base is doing well, and even make it better on whatever weak points that you do encounter from other raiders' experiences that you watch in the replays and such. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's like my whole understanding of this update. Pretty much highlighted here today in this 2-hour live stream. 2 hours and 20. Not bad, not bad. What do you mates think about it? Are you excited for Meteor Maker and this new update that will be coming out on June 27th? So I think it'll be quite fun to highlight this even further and see what the community builds as well. Because it's going to take a bit of time. I'm going to say maybe like 20 to 50 hours for a play to get it down pat. Whenever they make a new base, they can use the Sentry Beams perfectly. I think that would be very important. But I think that's a beef today. I had a fun time streaming Meteor Maker on the channel and highlighting this new update with the exclusive access thanks to Behaviour Interactive. And I hope you mates did enjoy this. If you did, show that support. Like this video, share it around, all that good stuff. That's it for today. As always, mates, it's a pleasure to have you guys on the channel as we go through this, and I'll catch